Hey, so you may be considering buying one of these townhomes behind me here in the city of Claremont, but before you do, you're going to want to watch to see what other neighborhoods have to offer. So at the end of this video, you're going to decide, hey, which neighborhood should I focus on if I'm deciding to buy a home here in Claremont. Now, I'm in the Claremont Village right now, and behind me are these townhomes. And one of the benefits of being here in the Claremont Village is that you are close to tons of shopping, tons of bars, tons of restaurants, tons of entertainment, farmers markets, walking distance. Really hard to beat, really hard to find here in Southern California, where you could just get out of your house, walk down, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy the neighborhood. Yeah, you're not gonna really find that too much anywhere. The downfall is that, as you can see, they're really packed in. So if you're looking for that more urban feel, this is it. If you're looking for more space, not so much, because what you're going to be on the third floor or something in these apartments, or in this townhome, being right next to your neighbor. Yeah, it's not going to be a good look for you. The village has a bunch of boutiques, really niche stores, a lot of cultural events and different events that they have out here. And you are really walking distance to the Claremont Colleges. So if you work in the Claremont Colleges, again, you can almost just walk to work, which really is super unheard of anywhere in, I don't even know where, I don't know who can walk to work. But that's kind of a stretch. So I don't think a lot of people are even walking to work unless you literally live like on campus or something like that. But a big employer out here are the colleges. So living in the village, you have all the shops close by, you have your job right next door, which would be great. And of course, if you don't work in one of the colleges, there's a lot of different industries out here as well. And if you work in LA, you could just jump on the train. I don't know if you heard the train go by, but you could just jump on the train and head out there as well. It takes about an hour to get there. And if you take the highway, you might have a fast pass, so it could save you some time doing that as well. Another neighborhood you're going to want to consider is North Claremont. That's where you're going to find some bigger homes, more land, quiet neighborhoods, very, very suburban. You'll be able to enjoy like nature preserves like this one that we toured. You have some hiking trails. You have these big, beautiful homes, well-maintained neighborhoods. Everyone in this neighborhood kind of maintains their yards. One thing you'll notice about City of Claremont is that you can't water anytime you want, because there's a drought, so you see a lot of drought-tolerant landscapes, which in my opinion, I think that's the best move. Lawns, except for the animals, are kind of a waste, you know? Like I have two little dogs, they have a little piece of land with a lawn on it. But other than that, yeah, if you could do some desertscape, that's really good for the environment. The issue is that you are far away from like shopping and stuff like that. So if you wanted to be in a quiet neighborhood, then yeah, you're going to be away from all that hustle and bustle, right? So you can't get the best of both worlds, except for one neighborhood that I'm going to show you at the end that you probably could. So living by College Park, you're going to have homes like the one that you see behind me. They're older, they need a little bit more upkeep, but you're right next to the university. You're right next to all your, if you work there, the jobs, and if you go to school there, then obviously the schools. Now, what's one of the issues with that? Rent's a little bit higher because it has such a demand for students and professors wanting to live closer to work. Obviously, who would want to do that? Then you're going to have a higher demand for that. So if you're going to rent's going to be higher, and if you're going to buy, then price per square foot, something that you will find maybe a mile away in the same neighborhood, you know, same style, same everything, would be a little bit higher as well. The closer you get to the college, the more expensive it gets. So another benefit of living near the colleges is, like I said, if you work there, great, but they have these cultural events. I would say you can go to one of the auditoriums, Bridges Auditorium, and they always put on some type of show. They like some orchestra or some special speaker or some plays. They have an outdoor amphitheater called Sontage Greek Theater. It's where I got married, but I would go there to watch like Shakespeare in the park. The thing is, I didn't know Shakespeare in high school, and I still don't understand Shakespeare now. I thought maybe I'd learned something, but yeah, no. I mean, it's tough to understand. But if that's something you like, you could do those things. The colleges has a lot of these different events that you can enjoy if you live close by. So yeah, the homes are a little bit older, you got to do a little bit more upkeep, but overall you get to enjoy these other benefits. Maybe if that's something you're into, you should check it out. Moving on up, we have Claremont Heights. This is closer to the 210 area. So if you want to jump on the 210 and drive out to Pasadena or Colonies or anywhere at LA, something like that, then you're able to do that as well. Those homes there that are closer, not further up, you know, towards North Claremont, towards the mountains, are a little bit smaller, but they're still a good size in my opinion. You know, 1,800 square feet, nice plot of land. They're not these big estates and these 5,000 square foot mini mansions, you know, but they're still kept really great. And they also have to abide by these rules where if you don't maintain your lawn with drought tolerant plants, then your lawn's going to die. You can't just water anytime. Those are the special rules that Claremont has. That's the other thing. Claremont has all these little special rules that you got to keep in mind. Like, you can't park overnight for more than like 2 or 3 days. You got to get like a special pass. There's no drive-throughs around here. This, you know, besides like pharmacy and banks, there's only like a couple of those, but you're not going to find like a McDonald's drive-through anywhere around here. So they have these little special quirky rules, right, to keep this town the way that it's been for a while. They like to maintain how it is. Now, let's say you go, well, Oscar, I don't need something so modest. I got a few bucks to spend. I want to buy something really nice for myself, nice, big, spacious. Then you really want to look into Padua Hills. This is where you'll find some of these $1 million, $2 million, $3 million homes, big estates. Drive through, you got to go through like the gates and then get to your property. You know, you have these big pool areas, really nice stuff that you will see, you know, rich and famous people live in, right? I think Snoop Dogg had a house out here or something like that. He did like an MTV Cribs back in the day. So it's these type of homes. You're closer to the hills, so you get awesome views, right? You're still close to some great schools. You are further away though from, you know, the nightlife and other entertainment, because, you know, if you want to be and you want to have your own space, then you got to be further away from people. That's just how it is, you know. So you have like these newer rural homes, and you can get some horses on there if you want, depending, you know, what the zoning is. So double check on that, because you just can't bring any type of animal here. Your neighbors are going to complain. Someone's going to complain. That's the thing here. Everyone complains about everything. So, and I think that's everywhere, but you just follow the rules and you'll be all right. And what I like is that you're close to these like hiking trails and things like that. So if you like to hike, and then you're right next to, literally like right next to Claremont Hills, that's a 5-mile loop. It's pretty tough. I do it when I can, and yeah, it gasses me out. But if that's what you're into, you know, when I walk out there, I see the deer and you see these plants. You could bring your horse and walk around it. You got bikers and mountain bikers that go through there. So that's really close by. That's something that you probably would enjoy. Another area I'd like to consider is the Russian Village, Oakmont. This is the south side of Claremont. So let's say you go, well, I want to live in Claremont. I want to go to their schools. I want to go to their public schools. They're really good. I wouldn't see why anyone wouldn't want to do that. It's still in LA County, so maybe you have to live in LA County and you can't cross the street to San Bernardino County. But this is your first home, and you need to find something that's affordable just to get you into the town, just to get you into the city. That's where you're going to find these type of homes. There's townhomes, there's condos. They're more expensive than, let's say, the neighboring towns, but you're in Claremont and you get to enjoy that Claremont school system if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, you're going to find some 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1-bath homes that are a little bit older, and so it's a little bit tighter, but depending on where you're coming from, maybe that's enough space for you. Now, you know, I grew up in the Bronx in a 1-bedroom apartment, so all these homes are super spacious for me. You know, me and my family, we are able to handle it no problem. But if you come from, let's say, an area, let's say like Texas, where you could get these giant homes for, you know, reasonable price, and then you have to buy a $700,000 3-bedroom house that is really small, that's going to be a little bit of a culture shock for you. But this is where, if you are looking for your first home, something affordable, and you want to get into the Claremont city, this is where you probably start looking. Now, if you can afford more, but you want to save, you start looking here, and then you can move on up. One of the things here in Claremont that you do have to consider is, and this side of LA County and this side of San Bernardino County, is that public transportation is not really a big thing out here. The buses run about every hour, so if you miss it, man, you're in trouble. Like I said, I'm from New York, so bus come every 5-10 minutes. Here, every hour. Now, they've been improving it, but it's not enough where people are actually taking advantage of it yet. They're extending the Gold Line from like LA all the way through here, through Claremont, through onto like Ontario Airport. That's a project that's been going on for like half a decade. Maybe another decade will be done. Seems like they're improving things, but if public transportation is your thing, then yeah, you're gonna have a tough time living out here, just overall. All right, so I'd consider this last neighborhood, if you can afford it, if you could swing the bills, maybe like the best of both worlds. This is this part over here of Claremont, I don't know if you want to call it Old Claremont, whatever. Yeah, they have older homes, but they look really nice. I mean, the owners here really take care of it. You might find a beat up house every here and there, but at least for the most part, the owners are taking really good care of their properties and their landscaping. And that's something that you might, you know, when you go into a neighborhood, whether it's here, whether it's wherever you live, wherever you decide to live, and you're saying, how do I know if it's a good neighborhood or not? The photos you see online is just of the house, right? But when you get there, you have to look to your left, you look to your right, you look at the neighbors, see what they're doing. Because that's something you can't upgrade. You can't upgrade your neighbors. You can upgrade your house, you can do anything you want to it. But you can't upgrade your neighbors, right? What are you gonna do? Buy them out or something? No, you're not gonna do that. Unless you're like some super rich person that you can afford to buy people out. But for the most part, your neighbors are there until you leave. Now this area has bigger homes. So they're older, yeah, but they have this like craftsman style, which I think is really cool. Similar to the ones that's like right behind me. That house behind me has to be like 100 years old or something like that, but it's super well maintained. You could tell because it's not falling apart. You see older homes that are falling apart and you know they're not maintaining it. So this one here looks really good, and these are the type of homes that you're going to be finding in this Old Claremont location. Some of them are designed by architects, and some of them are not designed by like really skilled craftsmen. So you're going to have that to. Now the only problem is you got to maintain it the same way. You know, it's not like a set it and forget it type of thing. You're going to have to keep up with the maintenance and things like that. And older homes do have more problems than newer homes. But where it's located, you're only like 5 minutes away from the village, which you have all that entertainment that we spoke about. You're 5 minutes away from the colleges, from all that cultural stuff. You're 5 minutes away from the highway, which you could then just take to wherever you want to go, Palm Springs, LA, whatever you want to do with that. So this, you're kind of like very central. And if I were to, like, based on location and based on my lifestyle, that's what I would consider. Now, previously, before my son was born, it was Claremont Village, because I could just walk to like a coffee shop, and that's really nice. I really like enjoying that. Just like walk down, grab like a muffin, go back home, right? But now that I have a son, I think, all right, he needs like a backyard and, you know, a quiet street and things like that. So now I think a little bit different. And this area, still close to entertainment, and still has enough, and the homes have enough space where you can enjoy yourself. So this is the area that I pretty much would consider like my first choice. Now, obviously Padua Hills and those mansions would be like first choice. But let's be realistic. In my scenario, I'm really closer looking towards this Old Town part of Claremont. I can't afford those $1 million mansions, maybe in the future, but until then, this is what I would consider, right? A nice home for myself and my family. And if you think Claremont is not it for you and you want some more choices, I did a video on Upland and the different communities that Upland has to offer. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want more info on where to decide where you want to live and what you should look out for when you're buying a house, go ahead and reach out to me. Give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'm here to help you guys out. Until then, I'll check you guys out later.